What is happening, folks? Welcome back to another video right here on my Twitch live streaming channel. DZPalomino, if you're watching the rerun on my YouTube channel, also DZPalomino, you can subscribe there, you can subscribe over here, or you can subscribe to both. You can do either or. For this episode, we are back at playing the game show, The Chase. This will be the fourth playlist episode if you guys are watching the rerun. And pretty much with The Chase, we're going to go ahead and hop right back into it. Unfortunately for this episode, we don't have a new location, but we can still play some trivia games. An endless list of trivias and questions and general knowledge. And let's just jump right back into it, shall we? Alright, folks. For playlist episode number 4, if you guys want to support this channel, links are at the bottom of the screen, Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal, or you have the sponsor available where you can download the Ember app for free, the invitation code, where we could be virtual Bitcoin mining business partners. Mine Satoshi, mine Bitcoin, 24/7, 365, play, win, earn, and eventually turn that into cash payouts. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Just as usual, we'll play, depending on time, we'll play a couple rounds of Cash Builder, a couple rounds of The Chase, and depending on how it plays out, maybe a couple rounds of the final chase. And we're going to go ahead and see what is going to be the big prize by the end of this episode. All right, Cash Builder, here we go. Which of these is not a Christmas Carol? Oof. Which of these is a unit of light measurement? Oof. Looks. The artist El Greco was born where? No. Which of these popular TV series appeared first? Third Rock from the Sun? Oh, Fraggle Rock. Golden Shred is a brand of what sweet spread? Honey. Marmalade. Which of these is a traditional form of Japanese theater? Oof. Which of these can be determined by the Izahara test? Color blindness. The father of actress Liv Tyler sings in what band? 15K. Tad bit better from the last episode. Which of these is a classic by Ron Orbison? Ooh. Which of these ripen underground? Peanut. Which German chemist discovered zirconium and uranium? No. A swingometer is used during what political events? Debates. Which sporting legend's original name was Cassius Clay? Antonio Stradivari was a famous maker of what instrument? Violins. I actually know that one. 1929, who hosted the first ever Academy Award ceremony. How are the rings in the Audi car company logo arranged? Horizontally. One second left on the clock. I just had to guess it right out of the spot without bother reading it. That's how much time I had available. Alright. Same as the last one, 15K. Alrighty, folks, we're going to go ahead and jump into it. The Chase. Alright. We have the Stunner and the Smiling Assassin. Now, folks who are not familiar of the chase or watching this for the very first time, all these kinds of quiz experts, I would put it, they're from different versions of the show. There's like the U.S., the U.K., Australia. I think there's one or two out there. No, I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, the Chase mobile app accounts. I think it accounts for all those quiz experts in just this one game. Make it the ultimate challenge. Yeah, the Stoners from the U.S. The Smiling Assassins from Australia. Okay. Let's see. The offer price for the Stoner is $1 million. That's the highest one. And that's where we'll go. Don't worry about that right now. Oh boy, that's a big payout. 8.25 million. 8 million a core. Well, folks, this is the chase. This is the DZPalomino YouTube channel. You either go big or go home. And with all other games, we can go on the hardest difficulty possible. That's just how we roll. That's just how we have fun. With that being said, folks, 8 mil it is. Which of these novels has not been adapted as a feature film? Ooh. Oh. Oh. Already. This is the advantage that you get on the phone, but not in the actual game show if you're a contestant on the television series. So let's use it. The Flamingo Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas was built by which gangster? Ooh. Oh boy. I don't know. Bugsy Siegel. What is the size of the smaller two angles in a right angle? Isosceles triangle. Having a hard time picturing it in my head, but I think it's 45. Yeah, it's 45. Which state did VP Kamala Harris represent in the Senate? Oh. California. Okay. Douglas Fairbanks Sr. was the first ever host of what film awards ceremony in 1929? I'm gonna think it's, yeah, the Caneys. Oscars. Last one. The Seagram murals were painted by which American abstract expressionist? I actually think it's Pollock. Not 100% certain. No. What was the title of aircraft manufacturer Anthony Folker's autobiography? Aircraft. Are you serious? I actually didn't think it wasn't the Flying Dutchman because, if in my understanding, or the best of my knowledge, that refers to the boat, not an aircraft. Very well. Alrighty, folks, for the second round of the chase. Let's go with the one that's offering $2.75 million. The Destroyer. $2.75 mil. Which organ was not being sought by any of Dorothy's companions in The Wizard of Oz? Not? Yeah, a stomach. In 1967, which country was formally declared the world's first atheist state? Ooh. Albania. Groups called the Revolution and New Power Generation back to which singer? Ooh. Reds. How many outcomes are possible when investing in a binary option? 2. Which term refers to troops marching on the spot without moving forward? Oh man, I think it's mark time. Yes. William Fox Pitt was the first Breton or Britain to be world #1 in what? Show jumping. No. Eventing. Which TV character lived above the garage at 565 North Clinton, Milwaukee? Magnum. Fonzie. How's the combined vaccine of measles, mumps, and rubella better known? MMR. Yeah. Alrighty, folks. Halfway to winning $2 million and 2 3/4 of a mil. Alrighty, folks, we are going to go ahead and move on to the final chase. Now, as a reminder, I only got 2 minutes to get as many questions correct as I can possible. So I will hardly have any time to read it, and some questions are going to be so insane fast. If I happen to know it right away, boom, I'm just going to go ahead and select the answer with very little time, minimal time. All right. With that being said, the final chase it is. An extra headshot. Let's do it. 80s, 90s. What fast food chain sold the McPizza? McDonald's. How is somebody feeling if they are rueful? Sorrowful. Pearl Jam helped popularize what sort of music? Hip hop. Grunge. God of flowers in what mythology? Aztec. What's the name of the sinister motel in the film Psycho? No, wait. No, it's Bates Motel. Shoot. 540 cap is a term used in what Winter Olympic sport? Snowboarding. Chuck and tenderloin are cuts of which meat? Tenderloin. Chicken? Oh, no, it's beef. No, brain fart. Piece of, and in what year? 7-year war. 30-year war. Which of these words means unfriendly, hostile? Which of these is a style of dress? Snub dress. Cold shoulder dress. Chili con carne is a traditional dish. Mexican. Chili con carne. Which of these is an album by Simon and Garfunkel? Bookends. Which landmark overlooks Cape Town? Dang. Nope. I think it's Table Mountain. Yes. Nurse was the first woman awarded the Order of Merit. Florence Nightingale. Horace Gideon, all by what fairy tale? Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And cooking, what is a leg joint of venison called? Nessie is an informal of what Scottish creature? Loch Ness Monster. Sort of structure of St. Mark's, but this isn't Venice. Castle. No. Distance is horse racing, usually measured by what? Yards. Furlongs. Oh boy, I am going up against the menace. Let's do it. Alright. Which Peking opera is about a man-hating Chinese princess? Gosh, passing on the first one already. I don't know this one. Turandot. And I got it correct. Alright. Common throughout the tropics, what is kapok? Fine. The first passengers to fly in a hot air balloon were what? What is the capital of the Australian state Queensland? Ugh. If you are lying, you are said to speak what a fork tongue. Frank Sinatra was buried with a bottle of what? Jack Daniels. On 60s TV, what was the name of the girl from Uncle? April Dancer. What do Finnish men carry in the sports of Yukon Kanto? Yukon Kanto. I am not familiar with this. So dogs is incorrect. They're reindeer? They're wives. Alright. Well, I only got one pushback, fellas, and I'm going to use it. But of course, that does not make me invincible from losing. Which musician shares his stage name with the fictional whale? Moby. The Cyfresh apple variety is sold under what trade name? Let's see. Ooh, apple. Reggae. Jazz. Okay. No. Bandar Seri Begawan is the capital of what Asian country? How many different vowels are there in the word saucepan? Different vowels. Okay, A, U, E. Three. All right. According to the Big Bang Theory, the universe is what? Expanding. The film White Man Can't Jump is about what? Which sports? Oh man. What was Johnny Wilkinson's playing position for England? Scrum half? It's not scrum half. I have no clue. Fly half. Alright. Luck. Which crass person uses a loom? What other U.S. state has a name that rhymes with Nebraska? Alaska. To what city did the artist El Greco move in 1577? It is not Toulouse. I heard this somewhere, and I actually think it's Toledo. It is Toledo. Yes. Sacha Baron Cohen's character, Ali G, had what surname? It's not Jeffrey. Graham. Crime analysis. What was actors John Mulaney's real first name? What word beginning with S is used for Sailor's song? What color is the aperitif? Not familiar with that verbiage. Orange. In Judaism, what takes place under a chuppah? What Middle Eastern river has a namesake in Cornwall? What does the DC represent in DC Comics, Detective Comics? In what decade did the FIFA World Cup not take place? What 2018 film has the tagline, Number Sesame, All Street? Ooh. In American slang, a coffee is known as a cup of what? Joe. Ooh. Oh, folks, that was something else. Another win. $2.75 million, or $2.75 million. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, Twitch and YouTube. Don't forget to support if you'd like to support this channel. And with that being said, fellas, I'll see you guys in the next game show.